Um, yeah, because it's a shame without these live shows happening anymore, we don't get to have applause and feel the energy in the room. So I will be asking occasionally for you guys to put things in the chat or to do some type of reaction so that I feel like we're here breathing together. So yeah, normally on a live show, I would do a collective breath or a collective scream, especially for a feminist night. That's a lot of fun. Sometimes we do a howl. So if any of you would like to do that, if you have the capacity to do that in the space that you're in, feel free to either just take a really deep breath, and again maybe, and if you have the capacity where you are, go ahead and scream. I can't because I'm in a flat, but this is your moment. Scream. I can see some of your faces screaming. That's great. Awesome. Yeah, so welcome. My name is Bella. Thank you so much, Rhonda, for that introduction. The first piece is actually inspired by Lee Krasner, so that's kind of a perfect addition to my introduction. Um, I was commissioned by the Barbican in 2019 to write pieces based off of her artwork. And the thing that was just so inspiring to me about Lee Krasner, and the reason I've chosen to perform this evening, is that she just fully refused to concede to the idea of having a signature art form or art style. She refused to be constrained. She said, "Look, this is me. My art evolves, and you can't pigeonhole me." And I related to that, and as I was trying to, resonate with her art, it felt as though she spoke this poem herself to me. So I kind of feel as though I channel her when I share this piece. So this is just a poem without loop pedal, and it's entitled "Behold." I am not made of wood, the stuff of splinters and pliable breakage. I cannot be softened to mulch in warm water praise, nor will I rot at the core from termite critique. Hold my gaze. Watch. I am not made of fire for you to name biting and call danger, to be ignored until need of warmth. I will not die out without your palm stretched to my blaze. Hold my gaze. Watch. The art morphs as I do. I am neither the silver of metal nor the shimmer of water. Do not mistake me for fleeting. I will not disappear. Art is my life. Life is my career. Hold my gaze. Hear me as I say. I cannot be defined. I will not be constrained. You cannot metaphor me into poetry. I am not an element to be lyricked out of obscurity. I am a woman within art. Art within a woman. I am a woman within art. Art within a woman. Behold my gaze. Behold. That is "Behold," which is a tribute to Lee Krasner, and I always feel like I end up speaking almost like her as well. She has this very deep, resolute voice. Cool. Yeah. Any reactions? Chuck them in there. Great. I can see some reactions. Um, cool. I've also got my Instagram live followers. Hello, hello. Thank you all again for being here. This next piece is it's with my loop pedal, and I have made it. It's a preformed loop for you. Um, the loops later on I will be building on site, but this is a kind of new one. So, what's everybody drinking? Chuck it in the chat. I'm drinking chamomile tea. Um, yeah, let me know what you're drinking so we can see what this party is, see what the flavor of this party is. We've got an Asahi beer. Nice. Water and tea. Decaf tea out of a straw. Hey, okay, cool. Nice. I'm glad to. Yeah, we're all on a similar level here. Nice chill drinks, sparkling water. Okay, okay, I see you. Cool. So I thought a beautiful way to pay tribute to women's history would be to share a lot of the pieces that I have that have been inspired by other women, right? So, as you saw, the first one was inspired by Lee Krasner. This next one is inspired by the first poet that really kind of got me hooked on poetry. And it just so happened that it coincided with my first falling in love with a woman. And so the two together created this poem. So it was inspired by a woman. Um, However, at the time, Andrea Gibson defined as a woman. Oh,
Yes.
someone's gone off mute. um, at the time, Andrea Gibson defined as a woman, but they now are identifying as trans. So I no longer refer to them as a woman, but they still go by Andrea Gibson as their poet name. But yeah, this is a poem for my ex-girlfriend and also for Andrea Gibson, and yeah, it goes like this. Can you hear this? Hopefully everybody can hear. I can't listen to Andrea Gibson poems without remembering how you turned my forearm over in your hand the first day we met, to find a stamp inked on my skin that proved I was into poetry too. And how you looked at me like you just found a mouth to the ocean out of the rivers of misunderstandings of your life for the past 2 decades. And how 1 month later, you slipped your fingers into the gaps between mine where no one else had fit before. And I took a picture of our hands stitched together that way that I cannot bring myself to look at now without feeling that that was the last time my hand would ever tingle with loving someone new for the first time. I can't believe the sun has tiptoed day by day around the whole globe since my skin last touched yours. When it rose for 3 years on your face, lying so close to mine on the pillow, I could sense the quivers in your dreams as you slept soundly next to me. The way you only slept soundly when next to me. Like that afternoon, when we slipped our fingers back inside the gaps of ourselves after an argument I've now forgotten to remember, and you recited Andrea, saying you would kiss me in the middle of the ocean during a lightning storm because you would rather be left for dead than to never know what thunder sounds like. And how I learned that day that your tied eyes did more for my orgasm than either finger or tongue, babe. I wish I could call you home to me now, to this winter bed in this London house, and play you this album they wrote, because there is a poem in here that sounds spoken for us, and I want to watch your face ribbon into a rainbow of dimpled smile and liquid eyes when you hear it. I want to hold your body in mine and remind you again that your skin is my favorite color on me. And your body is the perfect weight to balance out my anxieties. And some days, your faith in God is the only flame to my hope fire. I want you to know, I still correct every person who mispronounces your name. holding it on my tongue like a conch shell to their ear so they might hear the beauty in its waves. I want you to know I have written thousands of poems in the 4 years since we met, and love poems for you make up over 60%, even though I know it in my bones that our ocean is all dried up, and I cannot call you mine anymore. I want you to know you will always be the first woman to have loved me without disclaimers. Thanks to you, I stopped searching for my love in the mailbox marked return to sender. You are the longest chapter in my story so far, so don't you ever let your demons convince you I drowned our memories in the wreckage. It's not true. It is 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. So I know that you are asleep. But I've got Andrea Gibson poems lapping at my heart like the sea, and I wish you were here listening with me. Thank you. Cool. I'm seeing messages coming in the chat, which is lovely. Click, click, clap, clap, clap. Thank you very much, Isla. Yes, it's like, what a weird world. Like, let's just take a moment to pause. What a strange world that we're here looking at screens and we're having to type clicks instead of just click. Strange, strange world. Okay, cool. So I just want to give a little bit of a trigger warning for the next two pieces. It felt strange to do Women's History Month after a week of the kind of news that we've been seeing, particularly in London, without mentioning the fact that being a woman on this planet still in this day and age means being a target, means walking the streets as a target for certain people. And it didn't feel comfortable for me to ignore that reality. So the next two pieces, they sort of touch on that. And I just want to let you know that the first one is about a minute long and the second one is about 3 minutes long. So if they feel like pieces that you can't hear right now, that's totally fine for you to mute. And yeah, about 5 minutes, you can come back. So I'll just give you a minute to think if you'd like to do that. Okay, this first piece is entitled Squashed Egg. A bruise is a squashed egg, sunny side up. A squashed egg, sunny side up, is an abused woman. An abused woman is a cityscape in a blackout. A cityscape in a blackout is a universe with no stars. A universe with no stars is an eye without hope. An eye without hope is a traumatized child. A traumatized child is a bridge leading nowhere. A bridge leading nowhere is a forgotten idea. A forgotten idea is a misfired gun. A misfired gun is a boy with no courage. A boy with no courage is known to squash eggs. Leave them dripping. Leave them trembling. Leave them still trying to be sunny side up. This next piece is called Howl. And again, trigger warning. At work, I hug a man in greeting. In return, he humps me 3 times. I pinch the back of his neck as if I am squishing the hard shell of a beetle until he lets me go, sneers, strong woman, huh? Another day, I offer an idea to a team of men. 8 eyes look away until it is adopted by a baritone. A day before, I stand in the shower until the water goes cold, razor in one hand, scream in the other. On the underground, I watch a woman notice my legs, watch her eyes bulge, watch her unable to blink away. Another evening, walking through a park, while a man barks that he enjoys the way my body cannot help but jiggle. The cluster of bug-eyed men nearby do nothing. My jaw stays clenched all day. Another walk, and a preteen boy calls after my smile, asks where it is as if he's earned it. At the pub, I refuse to laugh at the rape joke. Pretend not to notice eyes roll. In a salon, the beautician cocks her head, says the hair on mine should be more feminine. In bed with a man, he refuses to taste me, says hair on a woman's body is unclean. An hour later, I watch him consume a furry peach whole. Another night, pretzeled in another pub toilet, jamming another door closed with my foot. No one can explain how the lock broke. I stare at the only female bartender. On the news, another man's DNA has been found inside the body of another unconscious girl. A stone-faced reporter airs questions as to how it got there, as if this is the first time, as if none of our lives are connected, as if we don't already know about the Beatles. And I think of my grandmother, of every groaning soul before and after her. Imagine them all rising as one beneath a full moon, a raging stampede. Today, I lock eyes with the woman on the tube, dare her to say it. I rip a growl from my throat for the man on the street, dare him to chase it. I snarl, fuck you, at the preteen, at the jokers, at the shame blushing my cheeks. I demand the bartenders fix their damn door. I tell the lover to leave. I howl at the TV, at my mirrored face, at the moon who does so much nothing. Mm-hmm. 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 Thought I could go straight into it like that, but apparently not. This next piece follows on, I think, quite well. Mm-hmm. 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 There's no trigger warning for this one. Mm-hmm. It's entitled Our Bodies Remain. Mm-hmm. 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 and bone, a strength unsung until strained. We hunch and arch and squeeze and snap, we clench and stretch and tense and snap. Bodies hold, bodies hold. Yours, theirs, our own. Diaphragm sail, huddle of bones, a thrashing sea of memory foam, spewing secrets through muted lips. Beauty tired of being beauty. Beauty push back, slip into ugly, make mouths of our stomachs and call it honesty. Eyes in our breasts, devouring pretty. Breathe and break. We breathe and break. Crayon to charcoal to dust. Bodies tell stories, our stories tell us. Stories speak values, our values they change. Our bodies remain, our bodies remain. Crayon to charcoal to dust. Bodies tell stories, our stories tell us. Stories speak values, our values they change. Our bodies remain, our bodies remain. Dust cloud face, spinning wheel legs, arches back and eyes for breasts. Slip a finger into my edge. Our bodies remain, our bodies remain. Discus arm, triangle head, hold me where I'm willing to break. Femur, arrow, spine, pull, ache. Our bodies remain, our bodies remain. We breathe and break, we breathe and break. We bleed our bodies, the bodies we make. The bones, the muscle, the blood, the sinew. Our bodies remain, our bodies remain. We breathe and break, we breathe and break. We bleed our bodies, the bodies we make. The bones, the muscle, the blood, the sinew. Our bodies remain, our bodies remain. The sinew, the woman, the sinew. The heartbeat, the life force. Our bodies remain, our bodies remain. The sinew, the woman, the heartbeat, the life force, the taken for granted. Our bodies remain, our bodies remain. We breathe and break, we breathe and break, we bleed. Our bodies, the bodies we make, the bones, the muscle, the blood, the sinew. Our bodies remain, our bodies remain. The sinew, the woman, the sinew, the heartbeat, the life force. The woman, the heartbeat, the life force, the taken, the taken, the taken, our bodies remain. Thank you. That piece was also inspired by Lee Krasner. I was placed in, when I was responding to her artwork, I was placed in kind of cubicle of all of her art, and this was particularly art that was all about bodies. And yeah, she'd done some really fascinating things with it, like discus arms and stuff, and yeah, lots of heads made of triangles. It was really interesting. Yeah, cool. So I have two, maybe three more pieces for you, just to check that we're all still here. Oh, we are. We've got some comments in the chat. That's great. Tell me in the chat one word to describe your day. Go. My one word to describe my day is rehearsal. But you can put a feeling in there if you want. Oh, cleaning, overwhelming, anxiety, oh shame, overflowing, meetings. Okay. Yeah, this is a Friday, hey? How about on Instagram? You guys put in the chat one word to describe your day. Sun, nice. I'm glad you got to be in the sun. Hopeful, that's lovely. Good. I'm glad there's some hope in the air. Cool. So for those of you who don't know, I also founded a project called the Period Poem Project, and the goal of it is essentially to, it's got many goals, but the overarching goal is that I really just want to break the taboo around speaking about periods, speaking about menstruation. I've just realized I could have brightened my screen this whole time. It's brighter for you now. Yeah, so I really want everybody who has periods to just feel safe to speak about them. And so I've been interviewing people for the past, it's approaching 3 years now, like slowly but surely. And it's been fascinating because we all have a lot to say about our periods, but we don't ever get given that space to talk about them. And so my aim is to write poems eventually about, from these people's perspectives about their periods. And yeah, this next piece is entitled Moon Cup Continuum. Shout out if you use a moon cup. Feel free to put that in the chat if you'd like to. Menstrual cup. Yeah, and this one is purely from my perspective because, knock on wood, I am lucky enough to have a fairly simple period. For many people, that is not the case. For me, my experience is a pleasant one, but for many people, it's not. So this is Moon Cup Continuum, and it was inspired by another female poet named Victoria Adukwe Bully. They have a piece called What It Meant, and yeah. Lucky you, Bella. Mine were awful. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, I've spoken to a lot of people who, yeah, it's the bane of their lives, and I want to write about that. I want to create space for people to share those stories. So yeah, and if you're interested, please do follow online Period Poem Project, and if you want to be interviewed, let me know. Spots available. Cool. Moon Cup Continuum. But I have learnt to love this viscous content, this daily birth into expectant hand, this silicone chalice, most months tipped into toilet bowl and forgotten. Some days on bathtub enamel displayed and observed. It is an awe-filled love, a perhaps overlong gaze and hold of this collected liquid miracle. Perhaps not long enough. Call it proof, call it strength, call it protection, myth, virtue, loss, mere biology. But this act is rehearsal. A practice, squat and push for future purpose, to ooze this life force, to pour then more into a whole body's worth someday. To sponge this red self from that new being, to uncover bright eyes, to cradle tiny arms. For now, though, I am content with only the squish of silicone, only the musical red cell pour and splash into ceramic bowl, only the split-second dazed wonder at this monthly womanly glory. Thank you. Cool. Oh, some people have written on the chat, sun relaxing food. Good, I'm glad you had sun and relaxation and food. You got people in this chat as well, sharing the link to Period Poem Project. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, do message me if you want to be interviewed. I'd love to interview you. Cool. I'm just enjoying this, so I just want to take a moment to enjoy it. It's nice to share work, especially after a year of so few opportunities to do so. And so yeah, thank you again. Thank you again for making time for me on your Friday evening. And I'm looking forward to the Q&A when we can like see each other's faces and interact fully. So this is my last official piece. If you require another one afterwards, you can say so. This is my last official one, and it's more tied to it's tied to womanhood in that it's tied to Mother Earth. I am very concerned and am growing more and more concerned about the way that we treat our planet. And I just feel like we're running out of time. So yeah, this piece is entitled Skeleton Time. And I'm gonna have some tea before I do it. forever, wish for mute, spend 6 years sleeping. Mute or mutiny, the whole system's blazing, leaving guns for little ones with mass cattle raising, skating on an ice rink, ignoring that it's melting, and what we'll do when it's all gone is any fool's betting. It's skeleton time and we carry on picking. It's a skeleton life, but we carry on picking. It's a dance to our graves, but we keep on diving. A sick, twisted game, but we keep on playing. A sick, twisted game, but we keep on playing. We teach our kids that if they fight, they'll make world changes. Then watch their spark die in policy exchanges. A plastic bag, plastic life, the fish keep dying. But it's alright, we're just fine if money stays moving. If money stays moving. Our economy keeps us living in chains, wishing for a better life beyond these remains. We try to keep the faith and believe in ourselves, but crawling at this slow pace is bad for our health. It's skeleton time and we carry on picking. It's a skeleton life, but we carry on picking. It's a dance to our graves, but we keep on jiving. A sick, twisted game, but we keep on playing. A sick, twisted game, but we keep on playing. We keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on. We keep on playing. Skeleton time, skeleton time, skeleton time. We keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on. We keep on playing. Thank you so much. I'm done for now, unless you'd like an encore. I discussed with Rhonda earlier what the time limit was, so I'll check in with the chat on Zoom and just see what people are thinking. Yes, please. Encore. Give me more. Okay. You can say no if you want to, but I'm very happy to do an encore. Okay, well, here's a question for you. Would you like a pure poetry encore, or would you like an experimental loopy songy encore that's not finished? While you decide that, I'll have some more tea. Oh, we've got some experimental. Oh, lots of votes for experimental. Okay, well, you know what you're getting with experimental, right? Like, it's experimental, so it might not work. As long as we're all clear on that. Yeah, before I do that last piece and we go into a Q&A, I just want to tell you where you can find me, basically, because throughout this pandemic, a lot of people have asked me, what's the best way that I can support you as an artist if donations are not possible, not within my means? And yeah, the best way to support me is to share my work. You can find my work on YouTube, Bella Cox. You can find me on my website, Bella Cox, on Instagram, on Facebook. I'm all over the internet. So yeah, sharing my work is the best way to support me if financial means are not possible. So that would be amazing. Cool. Okay, let's go into this last piece. Ooh, my friend Isla has just put my YouTube link into the chat. Ah, what a friend. Thank you. Cool. Okay. So this one is also kind of on the environmental tip, and yeah, it's a singy one. Shout out to my friend Tina, who is an amazing beatboxer in South Africa. Among other things, she's an actress and a beatboxer and a model and all these incredible things. And she helped me write this piece, basically. So it's also why it's valid for right now, right? Because yeah, we love our female friends who big us up and who help us out, right? So I'm just gonna make sure I have the lyrics. Cool. Here we go. Yes, here we go. Okay. Yes. As the water rises, we stay rooted. Feel the fires burning. We don't rise. Watch the snow fall down. We stay rigid. As the earth crumbles, we don't fall down. We stay burning. We don't crumble. We don't fall down. Hear the alarm bells, the squawking of the birds. Danger is not coming, he is among us. When greed conquers empathy, we lose our yin and yang. The earth is built on balance, we are tipping it. We don't crumble, we don't fall down. If we want to stay on the planet we come from, we've got to change now, there's work to be done. The generation coming is looking up to us. They trust us to fix this mess, they trust us to rise up. We don't crumble, we don't fall down. Rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up. We don't fall down. Rise up, fires burning. So this is the part in a live show where I would walk off stage and leave this playing for you. So thank you all so much for having me this evening. It's been wonderful sharing my work with you. Thank you to those of you on Instagram. Thank you to those of you on Zoom. And yeah, my name is Bella Cox. We don't crumble. We don't fall. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Bella.